Wow, this was truly an intense scene with Spain's King Felipe and Queen Letizia visiting the devastated Valencia region after these heartbreaking floods. You know, it's rare to see a Spanish king face such direct anger from the public, and I think it speaks volumes about the frustration and pain of these residents. More than 200 lives have been lost due to the flooding, and when Felipe, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, and the regional governor, Carlos Mazin, showed up in Pipewater, the community was ready to let them know exactly how they felt. Residents didn't hold back. There were boos, eggs, and some pretty intense chants, including "murderer" directed at the king. It got chaotic fast, and people pushed forward as security tried to keep things calm, even using umbrellas to shield the officials. I can only imagine how emotional it was, especially when the king lowered his umbrella to actually listen to the people shouting at him, while Queen Letizia seemed visibly shaken, even holding her head in her hands. Later, their social media showed the royal couple comforting residents. One moment in particular was gut-wrenching. A man just collapsed into the king's arms, and Felipe held onto him as he wept. You rarely see such a raw display of emotion from both sides. It's powerful and tragic all at once. It's pretty clear that the residents' anger wasn't so much aimed at King Felipe personally. Many see him as a symbol of unity in times of crisis. However, Mazin and Sanchez, who left quickly after arriving, bore the brunt of the public's frustration. Mazin later said he understood the outrage, and Sanchez admitted that the response hadn't been good enough. You could tell that this delay and the political back and forth really hit people hard. With emergency resources only mobilized days after the flood, the people felt abandoned. One of the underlying issues here seems to be political gridlock. Mazin and Sanchez are from opposing parties, and under Spain's system, the national government can't release emergency resources without regional approval. So, things didn't get rolling until 4 days after the flood struck, which only made things worse. The situation is still very much ongoing. Weather alerts in Valencia are shifting constantly, and it's scary to think that more rain could be on the way. Residents are being urged to stay indoors, while local authorities drive through neighborhoods with loudspeakers, warning people to avoid flood-prone areas. On social media, the mayor of Aldaya even posted for residents to leave their workplaces and get off the streets. And despite the chaos, you've got thousands of volunteers stepping up to help. Some, like Pedro de Juan, have never seen anything like this before, but they're showing up before dawn to pitch in. But the lack of organization is frustrating for them too. They wait hours to help, only to be turned away due to a shortage of buses and supplies. It's clear the response wasn't enough, and the government really missed the mark on planning for this disaster. It's humbling to see everyday people stepping up for their communities while the system catches up. As difficult as it is to watch, this is a reminder of how essential it is for local and national governments to work in harmony, especially when lives and communities are on the line.